everybody. We are recording in the back because we are going to have this on YouTube tonight and tomorrow. And there's also a video that I already recorded that's going to be in the Facebook group in about 20 minutes or so that will announce the winners. But I just want to welcome all of you. My name is Cheryl Ray. I think I have met all of you, but if I have not, it's great to see you. It's great to meet you. And I know that everybody in here, I believe, or most of you have been to a writers conference or one of our workshops or somehow have been connected to it. If you haven't, we would love to have you attend any of our events coming up. The SCWC Notable Book Awards, we founded in 2018, so they're relatively new still. But we wanted to, as part of the Southern Christian Writers Conference, have a way to encourage and recognize authors who are accomplishing things in publishing. At our Writers Conference every year, we like to encourage people and give them enough information so that they can be published. Not every writer is published, right? There's a lot of people who still dream of being published. It's a difficult process for some people. But we like to use this event and these awards as a way to recognize the people who have been published, because that in and of itself is a wonderful accomplishment. And so that's what we're here to do today. You will see and you'll hear, and you probably already read our announcements about all the books, but you will see that we have several different categories that we're going to announce the winners for in a few minutes, and you'll be able to come up and look at all the books. But we have traditionally published and self-published fiction and nonfiction. We thought it was very important to include self-published books in some of these categories because self-published is what works for a lot of people and what works for a lot of books, depending on how they want to market them, what they want to do with them. But then we also want to recognize traditionally published. So we divided up nonfiction and fiction into those different categories. Then we also have awards for devotional books, children's and young adult books, and also ebooks, since that's kind of a new thing that is out there, that a lot of books are being published strictly as ebooks. So those are our categories, and we base the winners on a couple of different criteria. So we want to recognize books that are, first off, look professional, okay, so they are pleasing, okay, in an aesthetic kind of way. So we do recognize that that is important, but we also want to recognize high caliber writing. So the writing is very, very important. And then the message that the book gives out. So an inspiring message. We never require that books have to be Christian books per se. And there are books here that are not necessarily Christian, but they're written by Christian authors, and they are presenting a worldview and a message that can be inspiring to readers. And we think it's very important to recognize that Christian writers can be writing in Christian areas and can also be writing in secular areas as a witness. And so we are pleased that we have books in, that fit those different kinds of areas. And so those are our categories, and our judges are SCW staff members and also professionals that are connected with the SCWC. So we partner with people like Tab Media, which is connected to the Alabama Baptist. They're one of our partners. So we have professional members of our family that all contribute and help us as we are judging the books. So congratulations to all of you for being finalists. And I would say to all of you, I hate for not everybody to win. I would love for everybody to win. I want to give a prize and a certificate to everyone. I want to say, you're the winner. But I would say, and this is not me being just silly, everybody is a winner, really. Because all of you, first off, got published, whether that was on your own or traditionally, you all found publishers. And you created a book that has quality to it and that has merit and has a wonderful message. Every one of these books were just wonderful. And we had so many books submitted that to be a finalist is a great honor. So I would say, pat yourself on the back. Say a little prayer of thanksgiving because you did a great job. You did a great job, and we're so proud of all of you. So congratulations to all of you. So I talked too much. So let's go ahead and we're going to go through the categories. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with children's, and I'm going to move to devotions and ebooks, nonfiction, and then we're going to finish out with fiction. Okay, so we're going to start with children's and young adults. So our children's books, really, we had such a wide kind of gamut of the types of children's books that were submitted. We had middle grade novels, we had young board books, we had picture books, and so we just had so many great books submitted for that. And the finalists in those, and I'm going to show the finalists for each of them before I give the award. Our finalists, and these are in alphabetical order, were Too Many Pigs in the Pool by Wendy Lanier, and y'all all need to come look at these books. They're precious. Campground Kids, The Zion Gold Rush, this is by C.R. Fulton, and this was a middle grade book. And then Sally Murray's When You Take a Cow on a Train. Sally is here, and Sally's book is just a precious book about a cow on a train and how it teaches about kindness. So please come take a look at all three of those books. The winner for the 2022 SCWC Notable Book Award in the Children's and Young Adult category is Too Many Pigs in the Pool by Wendy Lanier. So we are going to clap with Wendy. Wendy lives in the And let me just go ahead and say, if our winner is not here, there's a couple winners that are not here, we are going to clap for them across the miles so that we can celebrate with them. Wendy lives in Texas, and so we'll be really excited when Wendy sees that announcement on the video. Okay, so next up we have the devotional category, and y'all, all three of our devotional authors are here. So I'm so excited, so excited. So the finalists in this category in alphabetical order are Hope Is, and this is by Christy, Sue, and Deanne, and they are on the front row, and so we're so excited to have them. And this was by Bold Vision Books, correct? Yes. Okay, and then we have Abundant Fruit by Casey White, and Casey is here, right back here with her husband, so we're so glad to have Casey. And then Climbing Higher, Devotions for Hikers by Letty Wisman. Let me make sure, Wisman, Letty Kirkpatrick Wisman, and her husband Jim are here. So we're so glad to have all of y'all. And I will tell y'all, the devotional category was a very tough category, and my judge told me, she sent me back like notes about all of them, like what was so good about each of them. So they were all great. But the winner for the 2022 SCWC Notable Book Award is Climbing Higher, 40 Devotions for Hikers by Letty Wisman. I got to make sure y'all have this in the right order. So what I have for the winners, get my certificate. I want anybody to see. Winners, that's Wendy's. Okay. Sorry, y'all, this isn't going to be very entertaining on the video. Okay, Letty, why don't you come up here and we'll get a picture of you. Congratulations. And this is for you. And here is a card with a small prize and a book for you as well that was written by my father. Oh. Congratulations. Also, we will get pictures after of all the finalists in every category and winners, okay? All right. Next up is the category ebooks. Now, obviously, I don't have a cover up here. I can't show y'all the cover. But I will tell y'all the finalists are Less is More by C.R. Deal. It was a wonderful nonfiction book, actually. And then Business Smarts and Reckless Hearts by K.C. Hart. It's fiction. And then Faster, which is fiction, by Jerry Steele, a.k.a. Tiffany Norris. So Casey, Kathy, and Tiffany are both here with us today. And the winner in the ebook category for the 2022 SCWC Notable Book Awards is Business Smarts and Reckless Hearts by Casey Hart. Okay, and this is for you as well. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we are going to move on to nonfiction. And we're going to start with the self-published category. Just some, again, wonderful books. We had so many books entered in this category. It was so difficult. And what I loved about this category is there were so many varied topics that were submitted, and so we were just so pleased with all of them. So our finalists in this category are Speaking for God by Pam Barnett, and it's how to preach and speak with power, passion, and purpose. Sojourn on the Veld, a call to ministry, machines, and brotherhood in South Africa's age of apartheid, and Bill Norton, he is here with us. And Marvelous Faith, Pursuing the Faith That Makes Jesus Marvel by David Chansey. And I know David is a friend of y'all's, and he's in Tennessee, and he could not be with us here today. He's a pastor, and so he has to preach in the morning. The winner for the 2022 SCWC Notable Book Awards self-published nonfiction is Marvelous Faith by David Chansey. So we're clapping for David tonight. And if you are not here, you will receive your certificates in the mail. Okay, next we have traditionally published nonfiction. And I don't think any of these three are here with us today, so we will be definitely cheering for them across the miles. But we have Never Lose Heart by Pete Black, and this was by Ironstring Media. Far From Home, Discovering Your Identity as Foreigners on Earth by Mabel Ninan, and this is by Endgame Press. And Women of Prayer, Getting to Know God Through the Prayers of Bible Women by Sharon Wilharm. And the winner in the 2022 Notable Book Award, traditionally published nonfiction, is Far From Home by Mabel Ninan. Okay, now we have fiction. I always like to put fiction at the end, get some good novels in here. Okay, so we have in self-published fiction, the finalists are Turf Men and the Prodigal, and this is a wonderful historical novel that's set in Mobile, and John Cunningham Jack over here, he's one of our finalists, he is here. Sweet Aroma by Bobby Fraser, she is not here with us, and Down a Crooked Path by Dorothy Gable. And the winner in the Notable Book Awards self-published fiction is Turf Men and the Prodigal by Jack. And let me get that to you. And here is your certificate. Okay, John, congratulations.
Thank you.
Loved your book.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. All right. Our final category is traditionally published fiction, and we had 4 finalists in this category. Again, we had really a lot to choose from, and so we could narrow it down to 3. And so the finalists in this area, again in alphabetical order, are The Finding of Miss Fairchild by Grace Hitchcock, and this is by Valmont, which I believe is a division of Baker, maybe. And then Porch Music by Kathy Maresca by Touchpoint Press, and Kathy is here with us. Kathy up here. Circle of Vengeance by Ramona Richards, and this is published by Kriegel. And Bringing Christmas Home by Leslie Ann Tarabella by Liberty Blue Press. Great competition in this category. Judges had fun reading, I know that. And so the winner in the 2022 SCWC Notable Book Awards for traditionally published fiction is Porch Music by Kathy Maresca. I just loved it. Thank you very much. All right. Congratulations to all of you, and thank y'all so much for being here with us. We are going to turn off the camera, but we are going to continue enjoying each other. So please come take a look at the books. Also want to take a picture of everybody, all the finalists in the categories that we have with your book. So do not leave until we do that. And the winners who are here, so that includes Kathy, Jack, Casey, and Letty. I want y'all, if y'all will stick around also, we're going to do very brief, about a 2 or 3 minute. I want you to, we're going to record you telling us about your book so we can include it on the YouTube video that we'll be doing, okay? So again, congratulations so much. Congratulations to all of you. We appreciate y'all so much. And let me just encourage you, as a as a fellow writer, I'm writing alongside of y'all. I know how difficult the writing process can be. I know sometimes it feels like it's, it's so hard. Where's my reward? As Christians, we know that we are writing with a purpose, right? And we are just so proud to be on that journey with all of y'all who are doing that. And I would just encourage you to keep writing, keep going after those dreams, because all of you already have accomplished so much with the books that you have written and with the books that you gave to us that we had the joy to read. So let me just, as the coordinator of the conference, just to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And we'll be here to try to encourage you and spur you on to bigger and even better things. So thank y'all. And if, let me say a prayer as we finish this part of our time together, and then we will spend some time together after that. Dear Lord, thank you so much for all the people in this room, all of the authors and the people who support them, because we know that having people to support you is so important. But we just want to lift up all the authors in here and the work that they are doing. And I just want to thank you personally for them and for the words that they have created and what they mean to us and to the readers out there. I just pray that you will be with them in this coming year and continue to guide and direct them as they look at maybe what their next project is, or look at what they can do with the books that they have produced. And in everything, we give you honor for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right, thank y'all. So we're here with Kathy Maresca, and she was the winner in our traditionally published fiction category, and her book is Porch Music. And so Kathy, just tell us real quickly, what is your book about?
My book is about trying to preserve old Florida.
Right.
Back in the 1950s, I was born then, but I wasn't born actually when this book was written. And 60s and 70s, we did a lot of porch music.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl was just out asking us, who came from a family of writers? I did not.
Yeah.
Who came a family of readers from a family? I did not.
Wow.
I came from a family of porch musicians.
Yeah.
And that is the way we celebrated life. There was no air conditioning. People didn't use their telephones if they had one very much. And we would all gather on the porches and play some great music. I wasn't one of the people playing, so that's why I started writing. But anyway, one of the things that's very important about Florida is that Florida's indigenous Seminole tribe is there. And at one time, the tribe was almost extinct. There were only around a couple hundred people, and the tribe left because Andrew Jackson and Colonel Jessup were determined to eradicate the tribe. Well, it just so happens that if they had, I wouldn't be sitting here today, because my great-grandmother was part Seminole. And one of the things that I learned as I began to grow up was that my family had been highly marginalized, and I didn't know why. But as I grew up and gained more education and became more worldly wise, I figured it out.
Yeah.
So as a 16 and 15-year-old, I was privileged to befriend some people who were in the Seminole tribe, 100% Seminole. And I learned so much from them, and I'm here to tell their story. And that's what Porch Music is about, how one person who has nothing can bring the love of Christ into a family, and what it can do.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, we are here with Letty Wisman, and she is the author of our winning book in the devotional category, and it's called Climbing Higher, and it's a devotional for hikers. So if you will just tell us a little bit, just kind of briefly, about what the book is.
This book was a 16-year in process book. Lots of detours along the way. I did not think it would ever get finished, but it has been completed by a tribe. Between the person that did my cover and the person
Love the cover,
that
by the
helped,
way.
Great cover.
Yeah.
the proofing and the encouragers and the prayers. I'm so excited that it's over.
But the devotions are geared to hikers, obviously.
they're
Yeah.
geared to hikers or to anyone who has a love for the outdoors.
Right.
That's really the only requirement.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we really felt like the hiking community
Yes.
would benefit greatly
Right.
from it.
Right.
And hopefully it'll draw some other people to the
Yeah.
trails or just to be outside.
Well, and I thought what was so neat about it was the way it was structured. There were some like historical stories about hiking. There was personal stories about hiking, and then of course we have biblical stories that tied in with scripture. And so I thought that was a
It was
neat approach.
A unique
Yeah.
pattern is what we felt like we were putting together.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, lady. So we're here with Jack Cunningham, John Cunningham Jr., but we'll call him Jack, and he is the author of the self-published fiction book for the Notable Book Awards, Turfman and the Prodigal. So if you would tell us just briefly, just for a minute or two, what the story is about, what a reader will find in
Well,
it.
the background of this book is horse racing in Mobile. And Mobile was one of the major centers of horse racing in the 1800s. They had a track called the Bascom Racetrack in Mobile. But I put a fictional race club in Spring Hill, which is about 6 miles north of Mobile. I grew up in Mobile, and Spring Hill was not part of Mobile until about a year after I was born, 1955. So I thought I would use that as a fictional racetrack, and everything in it is fiction. I may make a mention of a couple of turfmen who are notable.
What is a turfman for
A turfman
people
is
who
a
might not know?
A turfman is owner of a racehorse. That's what they are. They call that even today, the turfmen. And Gideon is a backslidden Christian. His wife has died, and he gets involved with his best friend who's a turfman. His father was a turfman, and Gideon was raised in a Christian family. But he's backslidden because his wife and son died. He saw that as God not answering his prayers. And he gets involved with a girl by the name of Elvira, and her father's a lawyer and a turfman, well known. And she drags him down the wrong path.
Yep.
The wrong path, and they get engaged, and I'm not going to tell you what happens
Right,
after
don't reveal.
that.
Yeah.
But and it's this struggle to find peace. Everywhere he tries to go to find peace, he can't find it. He's in turmoil. Like he tells his wife, he looks at his wife's portrait at one point, his deceased wife. He says, "Harriet, I've lost, my faith has deserted me. My faith has abandoned me." And it has abandoned him. But it's a story of redemption. And also, the slaves were, most of the jockeys were slaves back then. And that's a little known part of slavery in the Old South that people aren't aware of. The majority of the jockeys in the South were slaves. And I have a slave in here who's a jockey who doesn't like being a jockey. He has another dream, but he can't fulfill that dream until he finds a way to escape. But Alabama does not have an underground railroad like Virginia and other states do, because it's so far south. They have to find ways to get out on, maybe sneak on a steamboat or get away other ways. So how is my slave who wants to escape going to escape? Ned is his name, what he's going to do. And there's a horse in here, Johnny Boy. He's based on a real racehorse.
Wow.
He's based on a real race. He was inspired by an actual racehorse.
Interesting.
The horse's name was Boston. And Boston, it was not named for the town, it was named for a card game. and Boston was so ornery, they wanted to shoot Boston, And so my horse, I read a Boston store, so that's my Johnny Boy. That's my horse.
That's great. That's
So,
great. Well, I know that people would enjoy reading this book. It is really unique, I think, and it really gives you a vision into, the history of that area for
Right.
sure.
yeah. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. We're here with Casey Hart, and she is the winner of our ebook category in the Notable Book Awards this year. And so I'm just going to ask Kathy, writes under the name of Casey Hart. But Kathy, tell us just a little bit about your winning book.
Okay, it's called
didn't
Business
say it.
Smarts,
Say the name.
Business Smarts and
Smarts.
Reckless Hearts. And it's the second book in my Carson's Bayou series. And it's about a woman who was raised by her grandmother. Her and her two siblings were raised by her grandmother, and her grandmother is in hospice.
Right.
And she's having to overcome a lot of bitterness, and she is just a little bit sage and against people who have wealth and get it easy, kind of like Pride and Prejudice. And she loses her job because the wealthiest guy in town dumps coffee all over her, and of course, you know, nobody's gonna tell him he messed up. And yeah, my meet cute was really, I thought it was funny. I thought it was
That is a
hilarious.
good one.
Yeah. So anyway, he is going to tell her, you know, he feels bad, so he calls her and he's going to apologize. His maid just broke her leg, so he's calling her to hire her to come to work. Well, she was she was going to accounting school before she had to drop out of college. So then he really insults her by offering her this job cleaning house when she thinks he's offering her a job as a secretary. But she desperately needs the money, so she does it. And she is just dead set against not liking him, and he is, you know, she's growing on him because she stands up to him, and nobody else in town does because he's the guy, you know. And so she, in the end, the spiritual aspect of it is, she realizes that just like Christ did everything for us before we even asked him to, and how we were his enemy and he loved us anyway, that he was that to her. And then, of course, you know, her grandmother dies and somebody pays all the bill for the funeral that she couldn't, and then she finds out it was him. And it's just, you know, I just wanted, I have found that romance, and inspirational romance or Christian romance is the best way for me to weave a Christian growth aspect into my stories, other than killing people like we used to. That was a little harder.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.